Hey guys, it is Tuesday, October 15th, 2019. Um, Today they announced the 2020 list of nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And, you know, I have the list right here. And now we'll do the video. So, I'm sure you guys know where we're going with this. Um, so, first off, I will say that, this doesn't really seem to be much different than last year or even the year before. Um, there are some people on this list that are very deserving to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. There are some people that been showing up on this list for a couple of years now, and I'm trying to figure out just why they're even on this list. So here we go. Okay, and the first person on the list is Pat Benatar. Absolutely. Uh, Pat Benatar has been eligible for years. She should have been, not only nominated but inducted long before Joan Jett ever was, and she's been in there for several years now. Um, Pat Benatar has a really decent catalog of music. Those of you that only know her for what's it, Hit Me with Your Best Shot, ought to take a listen to some of the rest of her catalog because she's got some really, really good stuff. Okay. New for 2020, Dave Matthews Band. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, so you guys are gonna go for Bon Jovi and Def Leppard from the 80s hard rock bands, and then you're gonna jump right into the 90s with all this stuff. I think Nirvana's already been in there too, and they were a grunge band. Um, so Dave Matthews Band. It gets worse, but there are some other really good artists on here too, and we'll discuss them. Okay, the next one on the list, Depeche Mode. Now, I don't know why they would ever be on this list because, to be honest with you, you know, Depeche Mode has kind of an electronic kind of a sound, if you will. I don't really consider them a rock band. They have a few good songs. Violator was a great album. I have it in my collection, but not really, just not something I would consider, you know, Hall of Fame, a Hall of Fame group at all. All right, next one on the list, the Doobie Brothers. Absolutely should have been in there a long time ago. They've got a really great catalog of music, not just with the Michael McDonald songs. They've got some really good stuff with Tommy Johnston. Um, back into the early '70s. Yeah, you think of what's it, China Grove, man. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones from them. Jesus is just all right. Rocking down the highway. Yeah. So many other good ones. And I'm half asleep right now, and those are the ones that are just coming to mind. But so many good choices. Yeah, the Doobie Brothers. Oh, and by the way, as far as the fan voting going, I'm gonna let you guys know. As far as the fan voting goes, I did my fan votes for the day. I voted for Pat Benatar, and I've also voted for the Doobie Brothers. And I'll let you know the other three as we get to them. Okay, the next artist on the list is Whitney Houston. Now, if there was a pop Hall of Fame, put her right in there. She's great stuff. Her music is top notch as far as pop music goes, but she's not a rock and roll artist. The next artist, Judas Priest. They're not horrible. They're not I'm not gonna say anything offensive about them, but I really only know of a few songs that they did, and I think you probably should have a more of a long-standing catalog of music than and been influential for more years than these guys were. I mean, what's it the when I think of Judas Priest, I think of the early '80s. Twilight Zone, Get Another Thing Coming, that kind of stuff. Um, I don't think of a long, from point A to point B. Whereas like a band like Whitesnake, now they've been snubbing David Coverdale for years. You know, he's in with Deep Purple, but he's not in with Whitesnake. And Whitesnake, as a band, they started in like 1978, so they would have been eligible a long time ago. But I digress. I'll have some thoughts at the end of the video. Next artist is Kraftwerk. I've been listening to music for 39 years, guys. If I'm not terribly familiar with what you've done as an artist, you're probably shouldn't be getting nominated to go into the Hall of Fame. And again, on the list again this year, the MC5. It's funny. So I remember doing this list like a couple years ago or a year or two ago. I remember saying, "Who the hell is that?" And it's funny. There's a little story that goes with this. Or you know, there was this guy. He's made a lot of rock and roll albums. He's done almost 7,000 concerts in his career, and the Hall of Fame keeps snubbing this guy every year. But he used to play. He played with the MC5 years and years ago. His band, the Amboy Dukes. And I know you guys know where I'm going with this. Remember this guy? He's from originally from Michigan. He did a song called Stranglehold and Wang Dang Sweet Poontang and Cat Scratch Fever. Yeah, a man by the name of Mr. Ted Nugent. Uh, see, to be nominated and inducted into the Hall of Fame, you should have had to have had a nice long-standing catalog of music and had, some hits that people are going to remember you by. Now, these guys were a group that Ted Nugent, the Amboy Dukes, when he's with the Amboy Dukes, they happened to play with the MC5 a little bit way, way back when, 50 years ago. Who went on to have the bigger career, yet the Hall of Fame snubs him every year because of his politics? I don't think your politics should have anything to do with your, whether or not you get into the Hall of Fame or not. But they disagree with me, I guess. So, thumbs down to the MC5. 9 Inch Nails. I'm not really into that 90s rock. The Notorious B.I.G. Are you kidding me? Where are the rock bands at? Yeah. Where is Grand Funk Railroad? Where is Kansas? Again, we'll save that for the end of the video. Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. I voted for them last year, but you know what? There are a few more people on this list, a few more groups, artists that are on this list that are going to get my votes this year. I'm sorry, I can't vote for a pop band going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Soundgarden, again, another 90s era band. I don't like the 90s music. I think this organization is just spitting in the face of everybody that made hard rock in the 1980s. If as long as you weren't Bon Jovi or Def Leppard. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the 90s rock bands. Okay, so we have Todd Rundgren. It's time for him to get in there. He's Doesn't have the biggest catalog of music, but he's been around for a really long time. His songs are good, and yeah, if for nothing else, just because he's been around for a long time, and yeah, his songs get a lot of airplay on the radio. I don't know that a whole lot of people have ever mentioned him as being influential, but you know, he's he's been around forever, and he made good stuff. So, and the Soundgarden, I think we had talked about them already. Just another '90s rock band. So, I give the thumbs up and a vote to Todd Rundgren. Not much to say about Soundgarden, just another boring '90s rock band. Um, T Rex, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give them a nod just because they've been around for a long time. And they're, if for nothing else, because they've been around a lot longer than some of these other people that are on here that are being nominated before a lot of your '80s hard rock bands. So T Rex, yeah, I'm going to give the nod to them and a thumbs up and a vote. They got my vote. And then, last but not least, you got Thin Lizzy, who also gets my vote. They've been around for a really long time. Now, I started to rant a couple minutes ago, and again, where is Ted Nugent? Where's Grand Funk Railroad? Where's Kansas? Where's Styx? Where's all of these other bands? REO Speedwagon. Yeah. How about you guys remember that group called Boston? They had yeah, they had that self-titled debut album in 1976. It was one of the biggest selling debut albums of all time. Um, Front to back, like every song on that album was good. Even though most of you youngsters that listen to classic rock radio now would think that Boston is only known for More Than a Feeling and Peace of Mind because that's all they ever frickin' play on the radio. Um, that whole album, you youngsters, maybe you don't know too much about Boston or you're just getting into them, go get you a copy of that first album and sit down and listen to it cover to cover. That's how I listened to it the first time, and I've been a Boston fan ever since. Incredible from cover to cover. You got to listen to the whole thing. It's a real high energy album. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Really good guitar work. Drumming's top notch drumming. Yeah, and of course Brad Delp's vocals. Get no better than that. The late great Brad Delp. So that's my thoughts. Again, they're completely skipping over a lot of your AOR type rock artists. They're shitting all over the '80s hard rock. They just think of the hair bands. They picked Bon Jovi and Def Leppard. They're in already. Oh, it's time to skip on. Let's go. Let's get the grunge era. The grunge era, which lasted about 3 or 4 years. Very dark, depressing music. It lasted about 3 or 4 years, but it's so fucking beloved. And now we got lots of artists from that era being nominated. So and then if they didn't put if they actually had a pop music hall of fame, or they may already have, or if they don't, they should most definitely. You could take your Janet Jacksons and your Whitney Houstons and these other artists and put them there where they belong, where they would shine. They could be like the centerpiece and get all the attention because they're phenomenal for pop music, but I don't know what they did for rock and roll music. So I say that every year. If you did that, you could put more people in. The Doobie Brothers should have been in a long time ago. I'm glad to see them nominated this year, and hopefully that ultimately they get in, along with the other 4 or 5 artists. Again, Pat Benatar should have been in a long time ago. But your Joan Jets, and we got to get Stevie Nicks in there, and like that woman hasn't had enough praise in her lifetime. Give me a fucking break. But anyway, hopefully Pat Benatar gets in there again this year, or not? Excuse me. Hopefully, Pat Benatar gets in there finally this year. I can't think of another artist more deserving, another female artist more deserving. So anyway, we're at 15 minutes. We're going to call this one a video. Just my thoughts on the 2020 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. List announced today. If you like videos like this, hit the like and subscribe. We're going to be trying to do more videos like this every day. New format with the channel. We're trying to go hit a target audience of like 35 to 54 years old. If you're a couple years younger or a couple years older than that, obviously, of course, you're welcome to. But that's kind of like the target range I'm looking for with this new format of the channel. We're going to try to do more music-oriented stuff here, too. And on that note, you guys have a goody-goody, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.